What's good, YouTube? You know your boy 3 had to do it again, man. I want to go over 5 things that I learned from being a photographer from over the years, man. 5 things, but I'm going to touch on each of these things. Hopefully you can learn from them, or hopefully you can improve from these things that I go over. Before we hop into this video, before we start on this video, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe to the channel, man. It means a lot to me. I really appreciate it. Make sure you follow me on IG. Make sure you check out the website. You can see all of my work on there. You can check out my man Smooth. He got his beats on there as well. You can see all the pictures that I've taken. You can hear the mixes that we did, all the graphics, all that good stuff. So make sure you go on the website. You check out all of that. But let's go ahead and hop into this video. 5 things that I learned from being a photographer.
Just smooth for life.
First thing is, you want to plan your shoots. You want to know everything that you possibly can know before you get out in the field. It makes everything that much easier because trust me, while you're out in the field, you're going to run into problems most of the time. So plan your shoots. And I'm talking about from the location, the colors, if you want to match the scene, if you want to contrast from the scene, the props that you need for the shoot, poses for the model, just in case that you need some backup poses or just in case you need to direct the model while they're posing, camera gear that you actually need. This is super important, I'm telling you, because holding a lot of camera gear that you don't need just makes it harder for you to do your job while you're out taking pictures. Number 2 is check your settings on your camera. It's been so many times I went out and I forgot to check to see if I was shooting in RAW and JPEG because I like to have both, and I was only shooting in RAW, which made my job a lot harder because trying to transfer a lot of RAW pictures to a client is not fun at all. So make sure you check your settings, and I mean from if you want to shoot in RAW, JPEG, or both, checking your EV meter to make sure if you're under or overexposed. If you want to shoot in autofocus, if you want to shoot in manual focus, or if you want to shoot in single or continuous autofocus. These are the type of things that you want to look out for. If you're shooting in a color profile or not, maybe you want to shoot no color, straight RAW, or you want to shoot in a profile on that. And especially checking to see if you got your ISO, your f-stop, and your shutter speed right, because this determines a lot depending on what type of pictures you want. For example, if you want a picture with a lot of bokeh in it or a picture with not a lot of bokeh in it, this really makes a huge difference. Or if you want to do something like a long exposure shot, you need to have your settings dialed in. So always check your settings. It will save you a hassle from getting back to the house and not capturing what you intended to capture. Number 3, make sure you use your histogram. It's been so many times I took out pictures and it was overblown or it was underexposed because I was using my eyes. My eyes was lying to me because my LCD screen was off. I thought I was seeing something and I really wasn't. And I was overexposing and underexposing. So instead of even going through that guesswork, I make sure I use my histogram. The left being the blacks and the shadows on the histogram, the middle being your mid-tones, and your right being your whites and your highlights. You never want to see these things spike. You want even as possible to get that nice, crisp picture. Number 4, framing your subject. It's important to frame your subject. If you want to use the grid on the camera, if you want to use something to help frame your subject, moving unwanted items out of the picture, that right there can be a killer depending on the situation. You can remove stuff out of the picture in Photoshop, but just go ahead and remove it. So double check and make sure all unwanted items is out of the picture. Also, another very important thing is to move your subject in or out of the light depending on what you're trying to capture. Because if you need the light on your subject, say for example you're taking a picture of their face and it's in the dark, then the picture is non-usable when you could have simply moved to the right and placed the subject in the light if the light was on the right side. So moving in or out of the light depending on what you're trying to accomplish is a huge thing when it comes to framing. Even maybe moving to a new location. A new location can be from one side of the room to the other side of the room, from up the street to down the street. Also changing angles to get a different perspective can help with your framing. All these things come together when it comes to framing your picture, so make sure you double check on all of these things when you're framing your subject. The fifth and last thing that I wanted to tell y'all is bring your tripod with you everywhere you go. Trust me, just bring it. If you're driving, throw it in the trunk, keep it in the trunk. It will save you a lot of headaches, I promise you, because it's a lot of those times where you need that tripod to get that steady shot and you don't have it and you're trying to get it with your hand and you just couldn't get it because you couldn't have your shutter speed fast enough because you're trying to get that long exposure shot, or you're trying to get the shot of the stars, or you're trying to get that crisp shot or the waterfalls. You definitely need that tripod with you. I know it's a hassle to carry around, but trust me, if you can store it somewhere like the trunk, just bring it with you. It will save you plenty headaches. Sometimes you might need that tripod to do a shoot with a model. You just don't want to hold the camera. Easy. Put the camera on the tripod, call it a day. 5 things that I wanted to go over with y'all that I learned from being a photographer over the years, constantly making these mistakes and still make these mistakes till this day. I'm learning every time I go out, I get better and better. I plan, look at my notes, do what I gotta do to accomplish what I gotta accomplish. So you can do the same. This your boy 3. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. I don't know why I can't say the word. I don't know why. Today is just a hard day for me to say the freaking word. But do that and we out. See y'all next time.